Welcome back. This is We Sports. This is Channel 14. This is Sports Talk. Every Monday night you can join us from 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. for Sports Talk. We're here talking football with several members of the Northern Football Coaches Association. So Maurice, who's here. So Maurice, from your perspective, when you look at there's some of the comments made by the persons here, obviously, and yourself included, going forward, have you found the interest of the youths in football dwindling, dying because of the lack of youth football? What's your opinion on that?
Well, see, I've only been around 5 years, so I wouldn't say I haven't seen it prosper or grow. I haven't seen it hasn't moved forward in any progression. It's I say in the last 2 years we haven't had youth football in North Zone.
Surprised about that because the way you come from that.
Yes, my first memories of football is 5 years of age. Mini World Cup is from under 10s. It's from all over the teams all over the county in the Wexford area, and it's something you look for. You wake up on Saturday morning looking forward to that whole day away. You know, that's under 10s, you've under 12s. Right through in Wexford we have, I'd say, 5 or 6 divisions in every age group. And this is the one county in Ireland. I'd say we're a small enough region too. So and it's particularly like in Port of Spain where we have so many communities, we have so many youths, a lot of schools, and for me it is kind of surprising that there's no kind of outlet for them to join a club. Even do they know where to go for a club? There's a lot of academies, but they aren't really affiliated as such with a club that is more for private tuition, maybe. So I think when it brings back into the communities, I think it has to move forward. Teams have to be involved. Every area should have a team developed in local football, and to give these youths an opportunity to prosper and to grow.
You think, Mr. Morris, it's a question of funding, lack of funding, which causes lack of tournaments, lack of leagues?
Yeah, definitely. I say some of my youths I've had, I know for them I still to this day, we have a game later. We have a game this week. I know I'll have guys that'll have problems getting transport. I've often had to times. We used to be training in Barratari. I used to drive in by Laventille, Morve areas up by Paradise Heights, picking up youths, make sure they get to training and dropping them home. You know, and I see it as well even on game days. They're malnourished. You know, they had a good meal that morning, and these are 15, 16-year-olds in their prime growing up, and it's difficult for them, I think. And probably the easiest option is not to take part at all. Maybe to hang out with their friends, play some small goal, have a little sweat, play a bit of FIFA. I think that's the avenue for football locally now. Is everyone is the armchair supporter. They can play FIFA on the Xbox or PlayStation, but when it comes to getting out and going out to the park and being involved actively with their friends, and it's not there.
How easily have you been accepted by the Tobago footballers?
Actually, I've been very well accepted. I've been very happy to be a part of it. You know, I'd say it's something that I didn't come here and plan on doing. I just kind of fell into my lap, and I've received great support right through from the start. You know, I say it's when you're a foreigner, you're coming into a new area. You know, sometimes people can, like someone asked me the other day, kind of, why do you do it? And I had to stop for a second, and you know, I never really thought of that. But I know for me, it was my love of the game growing up. I had great people, Liam Griffin, Larry Kehoe, people that I look up to as a leader, as coaches, and that helped the youth, brought everyone together. And I think it installed passion for the game. And that's one thing here in OC. People love football and FIFA, but they don't really love football. It doesn't come from inside. And when you're out on the field, even at times, that passion, that really engine that drives you. You know, it's. I think a lot of guys, they like to span a man. You know, they like to show off. They get more appreciation out of the crowd, maybe giving them a cheer, and they walk off the field, maybe have drawn the game, may have lost the game, but they scored a goal. I know it's the commitment to the team maybe is not involved with them as much. It's more for individuals. You know, they want to see, they care how they play. But I think it's just coming down from the top above. It's not there for them to bring that unity and the camaraderie with their team players.
And from your point of view, in terms of coaching, how far do you see yourself in terms of coaching and in terms of badges and going on?
Well, that's one thing I don't have any formal coaching experience, only from what I've learned growing up. And I have expressed it a few times, you know, if there's any coaching courses, I would love to better myself. You know, it's one thing, a great mentor, great mentor I had back home, Jack Stafford, when I was taught I knew it all as an under 16 player, under 18. You know, did you watch the game today? What did you learn from it? I thought it was a silly question, you know, but he was 30-something in his 40s. Every time you watch a game of football, you should learn something from it. You know, and that's something I know since I've been here. It's a different game. It's a different style of game from here. And I think, you know, you can take something out from any part of the game, whether it be before the game, on the field, off the field. You can learn something from that. And I'm still developing myself now. I'd love to get the opportunity to grow within Trinidad and Tobago, to make Port Celtic hopefully a Pro League team playing in the CONCACAF Champions League one day. You know, bringing spreading the name of it as a global brand even, like you have the New York Yankees, who why can't they report Celtic from Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, or any other team from Trinidad for that matter. So I think with this, if we had some more support maybe from the TTFA in offering opportunities for us to get coaching badges, I keep very in touch with FAI. It's probably easier for me to fly back to Dublin and do a 4-day UEFA coaching course than to do it here. You know, it's a lot more money, unfortunately, but you know, I'm hoping that down the road, I see there's new administration in TTFA, and we're still waiting to see the fruit to bear from that. But I think it definitely needs to improve.
So you know, that leads me to, what about the coaching badges? Well, what's going on with that?
Well, in 2006, 2007, right? Because I was looking to advance the coaches because of my experience in the North and the national level. I personally had to run the technical director's office for about 3 months to get a C license course in MOVA. And through that process of education, we were able to certify over 30 coaches who were now able to get better information to go back to the clubs and to the schools. So education is one of my, concern, that education for the players, for the coaches, and also for the referees to come in, because that part is sidelined for me. The education from the referees coming into the clubs and advocating for the players to understand the rules of the game so they could be able to represent themselves better. With respect to the whole community now, the supporters also, and the parents who are involved in these kids. So we really need a holistic approach, not from the bottom up then. The grassroots need to educate the people who really involved passionately. Like the whole of the North here, we have especially East Port of Spain, to a lesser extent, where we have most of the youth clubs, where football is used as a vehicle to deter the youngsters from getting involved in other activities. I mean, it would be surprising to see that a 10-year-old or 11-year-old want to get himself involved in nefarious activities, because it doesn't require, all it requires is just to go down on the block and sit down, and so we really need to get that education forward to ensure that the youngsters under the purview of the coaches could be better educated, better informed about the realities of playing football with respect to the direction that they want to go. For example, nutrition. Players come and they eat nothing. How can you train a youth man, especially the scientific approach, which requires high intensity, work, and then they need anything, they're going to die on you, right? And then coming from areas of single parents and other things that, where we no longer have fruit trees, all we have is houses, so it's nowhere to eat, run and eat something. And so these are the areas: nutrition and health and equipment, the tangibles. For example, a player would be playing with my team and a big club game a jersey, a pants, a socks and a bag, and you go on. Because our club are not in a financial position to be able to supply these needs. So we are really advocating for people to come, and each club that is represented be given similar equipment, so to speak. So everybody going to have, so we come in at a balance, everybody's coming, and then you come and use what you have to bring to the fore. So I'm saying we need better support from the corporate and from the family and from the principals in the schools and all concerned, because football is we thing, not my thing or Franco or Paul's thing, but football is supposed to be the number one sport in Trinidad and Tobago. Let us all come together and do what is necessary using the scientific approach to get our country, at when we used to play, Trinidad and Tobago, number one in the Caribbean. That is my concern.
When you look at it, Carlos, in terms of the same question, in terms of the badges, in terms of the coaching, in terms of the certification, how critical is that?
Yeah, coaching education and continuing education is a part of any development process. Information is important in order to develop the coaches and the athlete. What has happened is, because the informal way how coaches used to operate, they just have a play for a couple of years and you have a knowledge, but sports science is important in any development process, right? And what has happened over the years is that there hasn't been much emphasis on sports science, because coaches have not seen the tangible rewards of even going to have a degree. I know people who have a degree in sports science and they won't pay them what they require. They think, oh, the coach just come here. This guy is a scientist. This guy has to be in nutrition, performance, psychology, management, right? Treatment and prevention of injuries, measurement and evaluation of performance. We're talking what. So what has happened is that we as coaches need to market our profession in such a way that people will begin to understand the requirements of a coach, right? A badge is one aspect. Having a DCBA license is good as far as specific sport, which is football. But the backdrop of that for any development or any real development as a coach should be at least some understanding of physical education, a little understanding of kinesiology. You must understand the mind and development, right? So you see where the curriculum is based around. But the problem is that I know a lot of coaches who are qualified and will go to an institution to work and they'll want to give them $2,500 a month after you spend 4 and 3 years educating yourself. So there's no tangibles. Who drives the market? So you have a B license, FAB license, are the people who employ and you are aware of what that requires as far as benefits, their time, different things. So this is a whole cultural perception has to change as far as what is a coach.
And then, so that would lead me to the question that we ended on in the first part of this program, where then the leadership at the top is important. So therefore, yes, elections are due this year. What will Mr. Ford still be there?
All right. From Mr. Ford, I don't know him personally.
Sure.
But the fruits will manifest.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is the league is not dull drums, right?
Yeah.
You can't attract corporate sponsorship. You can't unite the teams. You can't get people together to move the vehicle forward.
Right.
So that's poor leadership. There's no excuse for that, right? At the national level, right, which is at the TTFF level, there seems to be the same problem, right? The executive is divided. So these people, the people who football rests upon, they are divided. They have their own personal self-interest, political interest. Everybody want to eat our food. It's a bunch of games, hide and seek and PR, right? And at the same time, while they're doing that, the game is suffering, the coaches are suffering, the players are suffering, the developmental program in this country is suffering.
So will Ford be re-elected?
Well, it's
stepping down, I believe. I believe this is his last term.
His last
from what he
term.
had
So then
stated.
somebody needs to go forward to be put forward. So what's the word on the ground in terms?
we have a candidate.
Oh, you all have a candidate?
We have a candidate. Yeah, we have a candidate.
So the coaches have a candidate?
Yes, we have a candidate and we have a slate. And in that slate, you have everybody that carries his skill sets to carry the zone forward.
And how does the voting for the North Zone put done by club?
Clubs, yeah.
By clubs.
Yeah. We have heard
Different names come forward.
like Mr. Harford and
Yes.
other people, and I have no problem with that. This is a free country. But when you look at Mr. Dinoon, who was somebody who has served in the trenches as a player, as a coach, we have Mr. Figaro. He's not only slave, but he's also a part of the developmental team, and he have your fruits to show. Somebody national players on the team. He has been Molino, right? He could give us understanding of development. We have Ken from over the 6 or 7 of the national players in the so-called team came through that system. So it's not an idea that we need a super administrator.
Sure.
We don't need a super administrator. We need a leader. Football needs leadership, right? So that whole concept has to go. That is a old colonial mindset. We need that. We need people who can mobilize, bring together the assets, and move it forward.
All right, we're going to take a short break here. When we come back, we continue talking here on We Sports Channel 14. We'll be back.